Good morning, John. I'm just responding to your message about the podcast. My phone has been lighting up. My text messages have been lighting up. I'm hearing from people that I haven't heard from in years. Some of the other schools that I've been at telling me what an impact I made on their life, both as a young student and now as a married man or a married woman. And that means so much to me. It means more to me than winning state championships. Although I like to win, you want to know that you made a positive influence on a young person's life, and they'll look back at that and hopefully be really good, excellent young men and young women.
Thank you, everybody, for being with us. As you can see from the little video that we've shown from Coach's response to his last podcast, it meant the world to him. So we're here to add a little bit to that.
Absolutely. We were inundated with messages. We had former players who saw the first one and were like, wow, I didn't realize you guys were doing that. I would have liked to have contributed. So we decided to run it back one more time, just like Coach would have. When you have a winner, you run it back. And now, ready for the
REMIX.
I grew up in Warminster, attended Catholic schools, went to Archbishop Wood High School. I wrestled there. Wasn't big enough to play football, but I loved contact. But I knew my second year that I had to do something to be competitive because I didn't have the technique. I didn't know the moves. So I started weightlifting at Wood. I watched the gymnasts, how they trained, power lifters. But I started delving into it, talking to people. I just didn't have, gee, what do I do for a large group like this? So then I started reading Powerlifting USA, and this guy's name kept coming up. I tried calling that sucker probably 50 times, and he would never answer the phone. Or if he did, I would tell his mom, it's Joe Hallman from Pennsylvania, and I would hear him in the background. Tell him I'm not here. And it kind of like broke my heart at first.
92.5% of the people who watch this show have not yet subscribed. That is not okay on the I Am Not Okay channel. If we are going to grow and change the way that life is done, we need you to speak up, step up, and show up. And that starts with hitting the subscribe button. And if you're able, please comment, like, and share any and all episodes. Now, on to the show. Welcome to Bair It All, the Kintsugi Chronicles, here on the I Am Not Okay channel, where we gather our broken pieces in search of gold. My name is John Bair.
And I'm Jeremy Palmer.
Today we are joined by a very special guest, my original strength coach, a big reason that I literally sit here in the gym and I started a gym business, Mr. Joe Hallman. How you doing, Joe?
Doing real well, John. Thank you.
Welcome.
Man, thank you so much for being here. We really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah,
my
absolutely.
Pleasure.
All right. So, Joe, you're the first guest we've had on, even though we sit in a gym, where we're going to have the opportunity to actually talk about things that go on in the gym. But before we get there, to be honest, I know who you are. You've been around me for years, but we've never really sat down and just sort of had a conversation, like me getting to know you. And if you're all right with it, I'd like to just kind of get to know your background a little before we dive into the strength techniques.
Absolutely.
Joe, will you tell everybody a little bit about where you grew up, how you ended up in this area?
I grew up in Warminster.
Okay.
Attended Catholic schools. Went to Archbishop Wood High School.
Wood, okay.
I wrestled there. Wasn't big enough to play football, but I loved contact. So I was one of the first original members of the Archbishop Wood wrestling program.
Okay.
My second year, I was a captain. My first year was horrible. I thought I was going to be doing like Channel 48 pro wrestling, and it didn't turn out to be anything like that.
Going to be Bruno Sammartino.
Yeah, exactly. My second year, I was a little bit better, but I knew my second year that I had to do something to be competitive because I didn't have the technique. I didn't know the moves.
Yep.
So I started weightlifting at Wood. Back then, all you had was a universal machine, which today is like a paperweight. But I worked on it, and then I got this. I read this ad and ordered this product that's still around called the Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
And I started doing
Chest
that.
expander.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's funny because when the guys found out on the team that I was using that, all of a sudden I became, there's Bullock Hallman. But it did what it was supposed to do for me.
Okay.
Okay, because I bought the muscle magazines. I read all that stuff, and I knew then this isn't who I want to be. Okay. I watched the gymnasts, how they trained, power lifters. Then I joined a gym in Hatboro that was run by Fred. And most of the guys that lifted there were from Upper Moreland, and they were all power lifters.
Right.
I mean, it was intimidating.
What time was this, Joe? Like early 70s or mid 70s?
I'd say I graduated from Wood in 75, so I'm going to say 76, 77.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Fred put me on my first legitimate program, and my body responded pretty well to it.
Yeah.
And then watching the big guys, I wanted to try what they were doing. And the first time I did it, the next day I was so sore I couldn't get out of bed, But I started delving into it, talking to people. Then in 78, I moved out to California, and I lifted at Zuver's Gym and Gold's Gym, the original Gold's Gym.
Okay.
So I got to see all those guys when they were
in their primes.
Well, in their primes, but not really. Arnold wasn't Arnold then, and Franco and all that. Robbie Robinson would get his mail delivered to the gym.
Right.
Arnold and Franco would come in at 4 a.m., lift, and then go lay bricks all day, and then come back again.
Right.
But this guy, Rudy, who owns Zuver's Gym, took me under his wing, and we started doing power cleans and incline bench. And he told me, just stay away from the stuff that these guys are doing because you're not training for that. I wrestled a year in college out there. My technique didn't get any better. My strength did, but my technique did.
Down. Okay.
So I was out there for 2 years, made a lot of friends, came back.
Yeah.
And still lifted. I lifted at the Hatboro YMCA. Met a couple kids down there. And they watched me lift, and they asked me, well, how do you do that? How do you do this? And I showed them what I was taught, and developed a little program for them. And they were doing really well with it. And then I was coaching midget football up at Lenape Valley, and when people found out that he trains athletes, all of a sudden people were coming. I didn't have a place to train anybody.
Yeah.
So I did get a garage.
Okay.
And I stuck some rusty plates in there, some bars. And I think I probably trained some of the top athletes early in my career. Like Matt Carey came to me when he was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
Gavin and Corey Potter. Zach Freiling, who's a 2-time state champ at North Penn for wrestling.
Yeah.
And then Marge just started getting out. And, I had to expand. So I rented a building behind UNAMI, not UNAMI, I'm sorry. I forget what the name of the...
Was it a middle school?
It was an elementary school.
Oh, okay. I don't remember them all. Doyle or something? Like a...
No, it wasn't Doyle.
Okay,
But that doesn't matter. It was behind there.
Sure, yeah.
I could fit 60 kids.
All at once, and
And, I had the racks. I had everything.
Yeah.
I just didn't have gee, what do I do for a large group like this? You know?
Like the format?
Yeah, I didn't want to have cookie cutter, but at the same time, they were all athletes.
Right.
I only took athletes in, and they had to be recommended by their coaches.
Okay.
Interesting.
So then I started reading Powerlifting USA, and this guy's name kept coming up, Bill Starr. And I'm like, this guy, man, he really knows his shit. And I tried calling that sucker probably 50 times, and he would never answer the phone. Or if he did, I would tell his mom it's Joe Hallman from Pennsylvania, and I would hear him in the background. Tell him I'm not here. And it kind of like broke my heart at first, but I was very persistent. He was the head strength coach at Johns Hopkins.
Okay, yeah.
Prior to that, he was at the University of Hawaii. He was an editor at Bob Hoffman's Strength and Health magazines.
Yeah.
He was an Olympic coach. And I guess he got tired of me calling, and he answered the phone. And we started talking, and I told him what I'm doing, and, you know, can you help me out?
Yeah.
And he said, I'll tell you what, you come down and we'll talk. So I drove down to Aberdeen, Maryland by myself.
Yeah.
I met him at 7 o'clock at night at a restaurant,
Okay.
you know, over a few light beers.
Sure.
You know, he opened my eyes up to a whole world of strength training.
Okay.
He wrote a book called The Strongest Shall Survive.
I've heard of the book, yeah.
Him and Tommy Kono. Tommy
Yeah,
was
okay.
Olympic
Tommy
medal.
was an Olympic,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And, you know, I said, this is what I want to do. I want to do something that I can train, not just football players, but all types of athletes.
Oh, okay.
Because every athlete needs the same thing. They need strength. Strong hips, strong legs, strong shoulders, strong back.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
After that, if you believe that, you know, a quarterback needs special work on his arm, then, you know, you can go ahead and do that. But I wasn't looking for that.
Got it.
So he introduced me to the big three, which was squats, power cleans, bench press. And, you know, the rest from there was, like I say, is history. I took that as my own. I adopted his slogan, the strongest shall survive. And it was such a simple program to run, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
Right.
But everybody made it out to be this difficult thing to follow. And, you know, if you want, I can explain to you how the program works.
Oh, yeah, we'll get there.
But, you know, I would go down to Johns Hopkins. I would learn the power clean from them. You know, a lot of kids that think they're squatting right, they're squatting horrible. Even the power clean. There's people that just should not be teaching the power clean. It's a very dangerous exercise to do. And coaches should coach what they know. Not, if you don't know how to do a power clean, that's fine.
You're right.
Don't coach
Don't
it.
coach it.
Don't coach it. You know, do a trap bar deadlift.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was dead set on power cleans for 30 years. I do them now at the beginning of my programs, but I don't do them from like summer workouts from July to the end of the season. We will not do a power clean. We do trap bar deadlifts. And it took me a long time to realize, you know, the kids complain about their wrist, their forearms, sometimes their lower backs, not too often, but imagine a football player, you know, you're jamming a guy.
Right.
And, you know, your wrists are killing you now. And now Coach Hallman's asking you to do a power clean.
Right.
You know, 5 reps as heavy as you can go. It just doesn't work.
Not smart.
Not, you know, and it took me a long time to become that smart.
Yeah.
I mean, we never had issues when I was at any of the schools. Matter of fact, I just told CB West kids that we're not going to be power cleaning, and they were upset about it. But once I explained to them why I was doing it, they were, yeah, you're
They
right.
bought
My
in.
wrists do hurt, and
Yeah.
and this and that. So I had a quick test him in the trap bar deadlift the other day because I guess some people thought since we hadn't done trap bar deadlifts that is it really fair to test them? And I'm like, yeah, of course it is. Look, we do power cleans from the floor. What's that?
That's
a deadlift.
Bingo.
A high pull from the floor. What's
Deadlift.
that? A deadlift. I think we had 12 kids deadlift over 405. Okay.
Yeah.
And now trap bar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, still.
But
Hey.
I'll never use a
Still
straight
moving the
bar
weight.
on a kid.
Right.
And the weight could have been actually higher than that, but that's all our bars hold. Mm-hmm. So I was really proud of the kids.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so when we go back in July, I'll have that in, and
Yep.
I expect great things. You know, my whole key for the strength training obviously is to get him big and strong, but also keep him healthy in season. You know, my guys have always gotten stronger as the season goes on.
Right.
A lot of coaches like to maintain strength.
Right.
Well, if that's all you do, that's
Right.
all your kids ever
Right,
going to
right.
do is
Right.
maintain.
But like the best ability is availability in order to play.
Exactly.
So sounds like not only are you working to get them strong, you're also thinking about if they have overuse in certain places, will they actually be able to perform on the field if their wrists hurt, if their shoulders are hurt?
Exactly.
So you think about all of those things.
It took me a long time, but yeah, I do. Maybe because I'm an old man now and have grandkids. I don't know. I'm not as angry in the weight room as I once was. You know,
I understand.
I'll be honest with you. Now I've been friends with Bill since 1990.
Okay.
He passed away a few years ago.
Yeah.
But he gave me all his writings, and he wrote for every major
Right.
strength journal.
Sure.
So I have all of his writings.
Yep.
I have his books. And he told me, he said, listen, you're not training competitive weightlifters. So get it out of your mind that they have to go parallel or below. If they go 2 inches above, that's fine. Okay?
Yeah.
And I was never like that. I would tell them that you got to get low, you got to get low. But what happens when you can't get low?
Right.
Your body just won't allow you to get low.
Agreed. Yeah.
You know, you got some options. You can do stuff like quarter squats,
Yeah.
pin squats, stuff like that.
Heel lift.
But just telling the kids, you go down as low as you can. I'll watch you and I'll tell you. And it's either good or bad. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to put that strain on them that you have to be able to go balls to the floor
Right.
with 300 pounds or
Yeah, yeah,
400 pounds.
Yeah.
It's just, again, it's not worth it.
Right.
You know?
Did you heard the interview with Adam, right? The one we just
I did.
with him?
Love Adam.
Coach Joe Hallman, CB West football. Man, he and I had some battles back in the day. But in all seriousness, Joe Hallman is an amazing human being. He was a phenomenal strength and conditioning coach. I'm really happy to see that he's recently rejoined the CB West program and is helping out there supporting all ages from my son's 9th grade team all the way up to the varsity kids. Joe played a critical role in developing us into the men that we are today. He's responsible for building not only our physical chassis to be able to play that sport, you know, a super violent, heavy contact sport, and minimize what would have otherwise been some significant injuries on our bodies. So not only did he contribute in that way, but he's just a great human being. And, you know, I attribute a lot of the success that I've had in my personal and professional life to the CB West football program. And that program absolutely would not have been what it was without Joe Hallman.
So and he loves you. And he was talking about when he ended up going to Widener, right? So they had him do a strength and conditioning test, and it was the squat.
Okay.
He had blown out his PCL his senior year,
Yep.
so he hadn't squatted much. And then when he went to Widener, they said, like, our conditioning test, the strength test was to do a squat, and it was as many squats as you could with like 315 or something like that. And he said he steps up and he's watching these guys at Widener do this shit, and he goes over to the strength coach and he's like, is this technique acceptable? They're not going all the way down,
Right.
which 25 years ago, you might have been a little bit more of a ball buster. I don't know how you tell me. But Adam said he did 18 fucking balls to the ground squats with 315.
Yeah.
And they all came over to him and they're like thinking he's like some fucking god.
Like, you're the stud.
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in my kids when they come back and tell me, Coach, I was the strongest freshman walking into the weight room.
Right.
Or my
That's pretty much
technique
what Adam
was
said.
just incredible. I take a lot of pride in that because you always have namesayers that, you know, Joe Hallman, his stuff doesn't change. He's a dinosaur, you know, blah, blah, blah. And that's all well and good. But you know what? They said the same shit about Pettin. Your offense is vanilla.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slow it down.
Why would you, if you give a kid 10 exercises to do on Monday, I guarantee you he's going to do 5 of them. And he's going to fill the book in the rest of the way.
Right.
There's no way they're going to do that many.
Right.
And then you got Wednesday and Friday.
Right.
Well, this just simplifies everything.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we get into it a little bit more, you'll see how much easier it is to understand. I did a clinic at Hershey in '97, the year we won the first state title out there.
Right.
And it was a full hall of coaches, and they were waiting for this guy to come out about CB West football strength program, you know, and they were getting ready to take notes, and I went over to Big Three, and they go, "That's it." I go, "Yeah, that's it."
That's it.
Simplicity is the key. You're dealing with young kids, okay? I can tell a kid squat 5 by 5. You're going to start out with 135 pounds. You're going to go up to as heavy as you can get for 5. Okay, end of it. If they make all them, then the following week when they go heavy again, they're going to go up, and do 10 pounds more than what they finished with. It's that simple.
Yeah.
The old progressive overload.
That's it. You know, and
It works.
the thing I didn't tell them is, you know, after a few weeks, your heavy squat day, when you go to Wednesday, which is a light day, we'll do front squats. But you're going as heavy as you can. You just can't front squat as much as your back squat.
Right.
And nobody to this, even now, they don't
Put that
grasp
together.
that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so easy. I go, yeah. So I write it on a board, and it's hard. It's tough. But that program can be changed so many ways.
Yeah.
And so again, Bill and I remained friends until he passed away.
Yeah.
He was just an awesome guy. He was a hippie. You know, he was 70-some years old. He had long hair. He's a powerful-looking guy still for his age.
Yeah.
You know, and he had a lot of hip. He had to have his one hip replaced. And I said, Bill, do you think from all the squats and deadlifts? He goes, let me ask you a question. How about if I didn't do them? Maybe I would have had this done when I was 40 instead of 70. Makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So before we go forward into breaking down the big 3, because I do, and I want people to understand the simplicity, even how Coach Pettin taught us, it was so simple. Mondays we did cadence drill. It was like Tuesdays was offense or defense, and then Wednesdays was the opposite. That was what we did.
Right.
And you just ran through that and got better at the basics all the time. And most people don't understand that. And 25 years later, I'm still preaching literally similar. Just do the basics. Those 5, sleep 7 to 8 hours, eat more protein, drink enough water, walk, and then lift heavy, right? And when we lift heavy, it's going to be some derivative of the big 3. Joe, when you were at Wood and you realized that your technique wasn't great at wrestling, but you wanted to get stronger, was there anybody there to like assist you, or there was just this machine in some closet that you started to use?
There was a couple upperclassmen that knew how to use the universal.
Right. Was there a strength coach there, though?
None
of that.
Strength
right?
coaches
That was
were
not a thing,
non-existent.
right? Yeah.
Nah.
Okay.
You either did the universal machine, the ropes, or an extra genie. That's it.
You mean like ropes, like climbing?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I couldn't climb a rope to save myself. You know. I'm like,
Right.
Why am I doing this?
Right.
You
Yeah.
know. But I see the benefit of it.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah.
But no, it was hit or miss. I'd read something, and once I got a little older, I stayed away from the bodybuilding magazines. I got Iron Man, which Bill Starr wrote in.
Yep.
Right.
The Powerlifting USA, which he wrote in, and I just tried to absorb all that. And when I would read, he would write the programs in his articles, and like it was like, man, I just don't get that. Then I would get on the phone with him again.
Okay.
And then he would spend an hour on the phone with me now by
So
this time.
if you saw an article and you were like, I don't get what it is, you would literally just pick up the phone and call the person?
Absolutely.
It didn't matter how
Didn't
it was.
matter who it was either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
No,
So
I didn't care because somebody had to show them and explain things to them. And if somebody was kind enough to them, they should be pay back. And I do the same thing. People call me and ask me about certain things. I'll tell them. I'm not going to give them my program.
no.
But I'll explain to you how it does work.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean I've got 30 plus years invested.
That's right.
And so I'm not going to do that. I'm nice to a point,
Sure.
and I'll help any young athlete out.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Yeah.
no question. That's why I don't have a gym anymore, because I had 110 kids in my gym, and I think 30 of them were paying. The rest of them couldn't afford to pay it.
Right,
and
right,
I was
right.
charging $20 a month.
Right.
Okay.
So you weren't
Right.
making any money at it. Like you were doing it as a service.
I was a lousy businessman.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
A great strength coach, not a great business person.
I mean, I trained all the kids around from the high schools, boys, girls, college athletes.
And that was just word of mouth
That
that
was
got
just all
around.
word
This
of
like
mouth.
people knew, they were like, we got to send him over to Joe.
Yeah.
Like that's your guy.
And I mean, every sport from football, lacrosse, swimming, all the way. I think I probably have trained over 2,000 athletes in my career.
Sure.
And it's real easy to do because back in the day at West, you had 100 kids playing football.
Right.
But if I said, I just don't have room or time right now,
Right.
I'm being honest. And, they would ask me, can you recommend somebody else? And I'm like, I can't because I don't know what the other guys do. So by the time they got in their house, I was on the phone saying, yeah, you know what,
All right,
I
come
can
on, I'll
squeeze you in.
Yep. Mr. Nice Guy will squeeze you in somewhere, right?
A funny story about how I met Joe. I was playing football at UNAMI. I was really small. The coaches had originally told me I'd never play. I was too small. So I went out and I bought a gym membership on my own with money I was making from doing newspaper routes and things like that. And I was riding my bike, however often I was going there, to Better Bodies in Chalfont. And I ran into Coach Mike Carey, and he saw me wearing a UNAMI football shirt, and he said, hey, you're going to be playing at West? And I said, yeah, I hope to. And he's like, all right, give me a minute. And he came back and he gave me a program, and he said, this is your lifting program. And I said, Coach, I appreciate that, but I don't know how to do any of these things, because I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just kind of going in there and picking things up and putting them down. So he's like, have your parents call me. And so he has my mom call him, and he ends up arranging for me to go to Joe Hallman's gym. Joe had a gym back in the day called Joe's Gym, and a lot of the kids' parents would pay to send them there to be trained up with hopes that they would, develop physically and maybe get a scholarship or whatever. And so I went to Joe's gym, and I knew my parents couldn't afford it, but they would let me kind of come anyway. And he took me under his wing and taught me how to lift weights.
It just, I don't know what I was trying to prove, that I wasn't as smart as my wife said, I guess. I don't know.
Well, there's that
But
part of it.
I enjoyed it. I still enjoy it. That's why at 68 years old, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave Archbishop Wood the way I did and just call it a career.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's tie up so there's context to that point. So we got you kind of in the mid 70s. You've graduated from Wood, went out to California, learned some things, brought some things back, started training at a gym in Hatboro, right?
Correct.
So, Joe, when did you how old were you when you started to be considered a area strength coach? Like 25, 30? Like that young?
30.
About 30 years old?
About 30 years old.
And you just said you're 68. So for 38 years, pretty much you've been training athletes. Okay, so now we've got you in like almost, we'll say late 80s, early 90s. Where were you working? Did you have a gym then, or were you working out of a gym?
I did have a gym. That wasn't my full-time job.
No, that was going to be my next question.
That was
obviously.
We got the full-time job. That's okay.
Otherwise, I would have been in the soup line. No, I did have my gym, but I also, I started out as a strength coach in 1990 at CB East High School.
East, okay.
With John Quinn was the head coach. Mm-hmm. And John and I, to this day, are still very, very close. Yeah. We actually did a TV show about lifting. And when I got done, I was leaving, and he ran out. He says, "Hey, how would you like to work for me?" He goes, "I'm in there listening to you talk about all this, and I'm thinking, God, I could use a guy like this."
Right.
I said, "Sure.
Okay.
I'll do it."
Yeah.
So I was fortunate enough to work with a guy like John, who believed in my system. John came from Allentown Central Catholic. You know, there's nothing but studs up there. And I got to work with some great kids.
Hey, how you doing, Joe? Dorian Thompson, Central Bucks East, class 97. Hope you're doing well. And John, thank you for the opportunity to speak. You know, some of these good memories about Joe Hallman definitely brings a smile on my face going back and thinking about these things, so I appreciate this. Joe, you're good people, man. You know, knew that right from the start of meeting you, the first week. Just seeing how you rally us all in the weight room, you know, actually getting people in the weight room and just, you know, working as hard as they can. You know, instilling that knowledge into us on how to weight lift, using correct form, and also just the competition. Love the competition, Joe, like the 1,000-pound club. You know, you hit your 1,000 pounds on the big three lifts, the weight, the bench, the power clean, and the squat. You hit 1,000 pounds, you get, you know, a T-shirt that you can strut around, you know, in the gym with, or in high school, you know, all that good stuff. Definitely a confidence booster as a teenager. So even to this day, I still, you know, use what you taught me. I try to get into the gym as much as I can, being an old man, keep my bone density up, my muscles and everything like that. So, you know, without you teaching me the correct form and, you know, instilling that work ethic in me, I'd probably weigh about, you know, 130 pounds. So thank you.
Adam Ratcliffe.
Right.
Hey, John, thanks again for meeting with me. We just spoke, so I figure while it's fresh, I might as well send you this message now before I get my son for football practice. Joe was more than instrumental in my development as a young student athlete. He was like a big brother, an uncle, whatever you want to call it, surrogate father at times. He did drive me home. He was the first person to say, "Hey man, don't worry about getting tall," because everybody thought I was going to be 6'4". You know, if you're done growing, the truth is you still have a really good frame. Let's start there. And I was really worried that I wasn't going to be over 6 foot because I was a, you know, above average linebacker, and so I was undersized. But Joe always kind of instilled the knowledge that if I outworked everybody, that I would still be an overachiever. And he was kind of, again, he was always there rooting me on. I wasn't the strongest person in the weight room for every lift. My power clean was pretty impressive for a time, and I attribute that to Joe and the technique that he taught me.
Josh Mitchell.
Hey Joe, Josh Mitchell here. I know, sorry, I've been a bit of a ghost for the last 30 years. But when Adam reached out to me to tell me we'd have an opportunity to make videos for you, I didn't want to miss a beat on that one. I was thinking about you recently. I retired from the SEAL teams in 2023 after 20 years of war and the war on terror. and a lot of time for reflection there, especially when I got out and a lot of people wanted me to come talk to high schools, football teams, and that was easy to do. And one of the reasons why is because as I looked back and I thought about the path I had taken and the life I've had, it's easy to see that it was the foundation that was important, the foundations that are critical. And that was you, right? Pulling me up from the middle school as a junior to work out at the high school. You had that first crack, first blood to shape me when I was at my most malleable. And as I was reflecting back and looking at my career, I don't know if it would have been the same without you and without those moments. The discipline, understanding, hey, it's not about chasing PRs, it's about doing the right thing, learning how to do it, learning how to build something great. It takes time, takes discipline, and that was and has been a foundational part of my entire career. I was laughing as a junior when I was looking at multiple schools prior to committing to Penn State, and we'd go into their gyms and they'd have their maxes up on the wall of these kids that had already been in college for 4 years, and my numbers already exceeded theirs by so much from the efforts that you put into us, and that we were building skill, strength, and most importantly, character.
Mike Moosbrugger.
I remember Mike.
Joe, what's going on, brother? I was super excited when I got this message and I was asked to participate in this video for you. You know, for me, as I think back over our 30 years plus of coaching, friendship, and mentoring, nobody has probably had a bigger impact on who I am today from both a professional and a personal standpoint than you. You, when I was 13 years old, taught me how to build a foundation, taught me the proper way to lift weights, taught me that hard work works. Discipline and accountability were the most important things when it came to being an athlete.
Pennacal.
Yeah. Did you ever work with Bryan Scott?
I did not.
No. Okay.
I don't think he lifted much at the beginning of his career.
Later on, yeah.
You know, because he ran track and everything.
Right.
One of the nicest kids you'll ever meet, though.
I went to middle school with him. He's a great kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Just terrific.
He had a different gear then.
Yeah.
You could just see how the way he moved on the field. It was just like, by the time he got to high school, he was so special.
Yeah. Eric Reynolds.
Yeah.
You know, I worked with Eric since he was in ninth grade.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I loved the kid to death. He was a clown in the weight room, but he could power clean 300 pounds.
Jesus, man.
You know,
Yeah.
You can't argue with that.
You can't argue with
the
it,
iron
but
doesn't lie, right?
But I had to make a show of it in front of the rest of the team, like, you know, knock off your crap.
Right.
You're no better than anybody else. Well,
meanwhile,
he's probably the best running back to ever play in this area.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I like I said, went to East, and Pettin came to me when I
94,
resigned.
95?
95.
Yeah.
And asked me if I'd be willing to come to West. And I at the time, I really didn't want to. I just...
Interesting.
Too much pressure. I really had, you know, I was friends with Mike Carey since 1971.
Okay.
So I had that.
Yeah.
But Pettin said some things to me that really touched me. And I guess 3 to 4 days later, I called him and said, Coach, I'd be honored to work for you.
Do you remember what he said? The sentiment?
He said, I heard you walk when we played West that year, East-West game. We were pounding them, and we ended up losing. And I walked home. I was so pissed off. And somebody said something to him about it.
Yeah. Coach walked home. He
I
was
go,
so
Coach,
mad.
I don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
And he said, well, ask yourself this question. Where would they be without you? And he goes, all I'm asking you to do is to build hips and asses on my kids like you put on
the East
those kids.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sure, I know him and Mike talked it over.
Right.
Said maybe it's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know.
So 96 was your first year?
96 was my first
year. So you had Travis Blumgren was a senior, and those guys. Dave was a junior, I think. Yeah. That was the year, like they had a stud team and they went 10-0, but then they lost in the first round of the playoffs, I think. And then we had our run right after that, and that's when I got to meet you. So now we're at West, those years. What was it like being in the weight room, knowing sort of how good coaches Mike Carey and Mike Pettin were at the technique, making sure that the athletes could like continue to learn. It seemed like there was a lot of pressure there. Did you feel that? Like you just said, there was, but did they make it easier with those nice comments, or were you like, shit, I got to really be on my game?
No, I knew I had to be on my game every workout.
Right.
Just like every coach here knew they had to be on their game. If you want to be the best, then you gotta be the best.
Yes. Right.
You got to perform.
Yeah.
And I remember one time when I was doing that one show, somebody called up. And I know they were trying to bait me, asking me about West and why are kids quitting, you know, is it because of Coach Carey and Coach Pettin? I said, it's got nothing to do with the coaching staff. It's got to do what's in here. And trust me, they're better off not having those type of kids, okay?
Right.
It's full commitment.
That's right.
Pettin and Carey give you full commitment. They expect the same thing back.
That's right.
And
it's all I've ever heard from anyone who's been sitting here, from him, from anybody else, Adam, anybody that's had anything to do with that team. Everyone talks about that.
Buckley.
Buckley, everybody, like everyone talks about that. And so,
hey Joe, it's Brian Buckley. You might remember me from such teams as the 1997 CBS football team, the champions, or the 1998 CBS football team, the return of the champions. But hey buddy, just wanted to take a quick moment. I'm really honored that John asked me to be part of this video. I want to thank you for everything that you have done for me in my life. I always tell people what Joe was not just the greatest strength coach in Pennsylvania history, but he was probably the greatest football psychologist as well. Many of times I would have to come in and have those one-on-one talks with you, trying to figure out why Coach Pettin and Coach Carey keep yelling at me.
You know, we just met this afternoon, but I only met you. This is how I've known you. I've known you from that picture because it's been hanging in our office there for quite some time.
Very nice.
Do you remember that one?
I do. Is that Jeff Micsky?
That's Jeff Micsky. Yeah.
Jeff Micsky, CB West class of 2000. I was a teammate and a classmate of John Bair. John, thank you for asking me to say a few words. Like most people you're going to hear from, I know I wouldn't be where I am today without Joe Hallman. But to get more specific, I really think the one thing that I learned the most from Coach Hallman versus other coaches was just an appreciation for the grind. You think about, we spent more time in the weight room with Coach Hallman than we did on the field with Coach Carey or Coach Pettin. You know, Coach Carey and Pettin had us all season. Joe Hallman had us all winter, all spring, all summer. And, you know, every day you're in the weight room doing the work, putting your head down, putting the time in, and it really gave me an appreciation for hard work over time.
And looking like pretty much every coach from the 90s right there in the tracksuit, the whole thing.
I'll definitely put that up
we'll
on the
put
screen.
that on the thing there, but that's how I've met you that way.
Oh, thank you.
Give a verbal overview. What is going on in that picture?
In this picture, you got John's deadlifting what looks to be about 405 there.
425.
425. Oh, yeah, he's got some 10s on the side.
For 5.
There's some 10s on the side there. He's got somebody on the onlooking, and then Joe's standing on the side of him like this. Looking like a hawk.
Probably cursing at him.
Yeah. Looking at him like a hawk. Watching like a hawk. Yeah. So, yeah, that's that picture has been...
Read the caption. What's the thing say in the lower right corner?
Caption says, Joe Hallman, above left, the CB West football team strength coach, watches lineman John Bair lift as Bair's teammate Jeff Micsky acts as a spotter. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put that up on the screen so everybody can see that.
everybody can see it. John doesn't look anything like he looks now. So, and you know, probably nobody in that picture.
I didn't have my beard, none of that stuff. But Coach, okay, so this weight room, so this was something that I wanted Adam to talk about a lot. Did you design or build this weight room? Because this thing was, we called it the dungeon. Right?
Yeah.
Can you elaborate on that from your perspective as our strength coach?
The only thing I added to it was the power clean station.
Okay, right.
I
in
moved
front of the
them
mirrors.
around in front of the mirrors.
Yep.
Chadi's still sick. Back, neck.
The other one, it's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He's like inclining, he's cleaning 185 pounds. Like, you couldn't incline 30 pounds if you had a bad back.
And again, there's something else that I've done away with now because of Bill.
The mirrors?
The mirrors. He goes,
I know.
Joe, listen,
Yeah.
guys are looking at themselves.
Right.
They got to be able to feel. They got to be able to, when they're, pushing the shoulders back, chest up, they got to be able to feel that.
Right.
Not look at it.
And see it.
Because then all hell breaks loose. And I see it. I see a difference when they're looking at the mirror and not with their technique. I could see their body here not tight, like Jell-O, and here tight.
Right.
And it makes for a much better lift, much safer lift.
Absolutely. So now we're at a place where we just talked about the weight room. Let's break open the big three and some of the principles you were using 25 years ago that maybe have evolved, but it comes back to the big three.
Yeah.
You said squat, power clean, bench press.
Right.
This is what we learned from Bill Starr?
This is what I learned from Bill Starr.
Okay.
And again, when he sat down and explained it to me and I read the book, I'm like, oh my God, why isn't everybody doing this? Now, Bill wrote the book, him and Tommy, because they were going around to the different high schools around the country because nobody had a strength program for high school athletes back then.
Yeah.
So they were going around demonstrating the lifts and explaining the program to the coaches and everything.
Right.
And it just took off. I had Bill come to CB East and demonstrate, and we had a awesome time. And I'll tell you, they improved their cleans probably by 50%. I thought I was
doing okay.
Right on.
Yeah.
And there were things that I was missing, and I'm glad it was well worth it for him to come up. It only cost me a dinner, so But I learned a lot that day. 3 hours of listening to Bill Starr talk is awesome.
Yeah.
It's awesome. So how it works is real simple.
Yep.
You're going to start on Monday. Monday is your heavy day. Wednesday is your light day. And Friday is your medium day. The medium day is used to prepare for the following Monday.
To make sure you're ready for heavy.
Right.
Right.
So we'll start out with the bench press.
All right.
You'll do 5 sets of 5.
Before we even get into that, why the bench press? What does it give athletes in your perspective?
To me, it's more psychological.
Okay.
They love doing it.
Yeah.
Coaches want to see what that number is.
Okay.
If I had my choice, I would incline bench all the time.
Okay.
Incline bench is more of a football move.
Yeah. Yep.
But I can tell you why Bill didn't have it in there.
Yeah, what was his
because
reasoning?
most schools didn't have incline benches back then.
That's
pretty simple.
And they weren't adjustable. They weren't
They
adjustable.
weren't adjustable.
It just
And
had the one
back in the
bench.
day when he was coaching at Hawaii, they used picnic benches, flat bench. Okay, so that was the reason. But I personally, I love the incline bench.
Okay. Do you use that at West, or is it still bench press?
I don't, only because we don't have
The ability.
we don't have enough incline benches.
Got it, yeah.
And if I slide them into the racks, now I'm taking away
Squat, man.
squats,
Yeah, you gotta-
Whatever else, yeah.
Make sure
Yeah.
your floor is
But
set
I
up.
do incline with 30-degree inclines with dumbbells.
So we can say like the bench press is like our upper body strength and power.
I would say
Covers that.
and dips.
And dips. Okay,
Yeah.
so all right. So that's like an ancillary
Right.
in addition to. We'll talk about some of the ancillary. But there's the bench press. So then Monday we have 5x5 on the bench press. Go ahead, explain that.
Okay, you're going to progress in weight each set till you get to the heaviest, to the last set, which should be the heaviest weight you can do for 5 good reps.
Do you tell kids what to lift, or do you sort of say you're going to start at 135 if you can, and you're going to add 5 pounds to each set until we get to your
Basically,
heaviest,
that's it.
and then just
Yeah.
keep recycling?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, I do percentages now.
Yeah.
But the bad thing about percentages, you blow past your 1 rep max in like 6 weeks.
What do you mean by percentage for those that might not know?
Your max is 200 pounds in the bench.
Yep.
So your first set's going to be 40% of
There you go. Okay.
your 1 rep max.
Right.
And I've just seen too many kids blow by it too fast. See,
Got it.
This way, if you get all your sets and reps in, then the next week you're going to come back to the bench again, and you're going to go 5 pounds heavier.
Got it.
And then 5 pounds heavier
Yep.
again. If you can't make that, you stay with it till you make it.
Got it. Yep.
And
you
that's
build the
the
strength.
hardest thing
Keep pushing.
for a 16-year-old kid to get through their head.
Yeah.
I almost got it. I'm like, you almost got nothing. I'm like, you're grinding. I want to see good, smooth up and down.
Right.
Nice bar speed. Mm-hmm. Okay?
Yep.
If you're struggling to get that weight up, I won't even count it.
Right.
That's not a rep.
It's not a rep. And if your buddy's holding his finger on it and saying, it's all you, meanwhile his biceps are bulging because you can't.
Also not a rep.
He's doing curls, really.
So,
Finger curls.
but it makes them, I want them to think all the time when they step on the platform or they step on the, lay on a bench, to tighten everything up, what I'm going to do, focus on that, and good things will happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of your world's greatest power lifters, for them to go from 400 in, I'm just going to say in the bench press to 415, could take them a year or two.
Right.
Everybody wants it yesterday. You got to work for it.
Yeah, interesting.
Can
Yeah.
the Amazon give me that tomorrow
Yeah,
or something
right.
like
It's
that?
in a-
Like they can deliver that,
It's
right?
in a bottle.
So what do you see with these kids today? Do they work like we worked? Or is it just different?
Not,
And I don't mean to like compare.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's not do that, because I understand we probably shouldn't. But are they as willing to put in the same amount of effort as kind of like the air around Coach Carey and Coach Pettin was? We were there for a mission. The mission was to win.
right.
Is that the same sense of energy that you feel around football? High school football these days. Doesn't matter the program.
I would probably say no, because
Right.
part of the problem is most teams don't have a lot of kids.
Okay, so that's the start.
Most kids are going both ways.
Got it.
So they're thinking, I'm going to play.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The situation I'm in now,
Yeah.
it's not like that, because I got to tell you something. Outside of the West back in the day, and with Dave down at Wood,
Yeah.
were some of the greatest times I've had in the weight room, because they all believed in it.
Hi, Joe. John, thanks for having me be a part of this and for doing this. It's hard to put into words in a short video what Joe Hallman means to me and countless other people. Sure, he's a fantastic strength coach. Bigger picture things like mentorship, leadership, brotherhood, father figure even. Joe has done this for me and for countless other people for generations. Joe is such a valuable person on and off the field, in and out of the weight room. I still remember getting a phone call when I was coaching assistant coach Archbishop Wood when Joe was coming on staff to help us, and my oldest son was still on the team. And I remember being excited. Yes, he was going to get stronger. Yes, I knew he was going to get stronger, which was going to help him in sports and football and all. But more importantly, I know that he was going to be getting a lifelong mentor, friend, whatever you need.
Carey knew it, Pettin knew it, the entire coaching staff knew it.
So it's like everybody bought into that.
Everybody bought into it. And
that's the difference.
Yeah, I was blessed.
Right.
Well, Rob Rowan, man, I'll tell you,
he's getting after it.
Oh, my God, he's awesome. He's
yeah. Well, he had them a couple wins away from the state championship a couple years ago, right?
Yeah,
so,
and he makes everybody accountable for everything.
Okay.
And, he's not afraid to – he's the younger version of a Mike Carey today, in my opinion.
So he has that kind of –
I can't give him a better reference than that.
Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Yeah, Mike.
Down at Wood, Kyle Atkins, when we won the state title in 2019, was amazing.
Yeah.
He had a nice coaching staff with him that pushed. But then again, like I said, the numbers are limited. You got freshmen starting on varsity now because there's not enough kids at Wood because you don't have enough kids to play freshman football.
How many kids are coming out at West now? We had almost 100 or more.
I think we have
60, 70?
Total, probably close to 80 counting the counting the freshman team.
How many is like a Wood getting now? Like 40, 50?
Freshman-ish. They haven't had a freshman team, I don't think, in a few years.
Oh, boy, yeah. Okay, so it's shifted. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so it's just bodies, too.
And it takes the alumni, too, to buy into everything and to help. And West has always been ahead of the head of that, They do an awesome job. The parents, the parent clubs. I mean, every school has their pros and cons. I don't want to sound... like today, kids will ask you, well, why do I got to do that? Back in your day, you never asked.
We just did it.
If I said go through that wall without a helmet, you would do it.
Coach said to do it.
Today, a lot of kids say, why can't I go around it?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
CB West, if it wasn't like it was, I probably would have lasted a month there.
Like how you mean now, currently at West?
Yeah.
So Rob has really brought something forward, a little bit of the old blending with his new school.
Yeah, and his coaches that he has,
they buy in.
Oh my God, they're all really super great coaches too.
Nice.
There you go.
I mean, I went to a couple practices last year, and we'd come home and tell my wife that's where I want to be, and that's because we were done at Wood.
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah, to answer your question, kids, they're not the same.
Yeah, it's different.
And I blame the electronics and all that.
There's different avenues.
I mean, you guys did other crazy stuff, but these guys are up all night long.
Mm-hmm.
I tell them, when you go home, eat your dinner, have 2 tablespoons of peanut butter after dinner. Get ready for bed.
That's my strength, Coach.
Turn all the
eat peanut butter.
Eat all turn all the electronics off and get 8 hours to sleep. That's what you need.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear that a 16-year-old kid's tired because he squat tested. You're not squat testing 900 pounds.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. You're just not.
Right.
So, but we have a really good group of kids up there. I would say probably 90% of them are hardcore lifters.
Okay.
The other ones will lift, but now we're on a 2-week break right now, so I know 90% of them are going to lift. Now, whether the other ones lift,
Well, you get it to rub off. Hopefully, you get 9 out of 10 bought in.
Yeah, you need. Well, that's the other thing. You don't have anybody that wants to stand up and say, yo, knucklehead, knock it off.
Right.
Oh, so there's not that quite same kind of leadership internal from the players.
Right.
Right.
And I feel the reason for that is because I want to be John's friend. I don't want John not to like me because I tell him, shut up and lift.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
And I've addressed that with the team.
Yep.
If they're your friends, they're your friends. Okay? You guys are trying to win a championship here.
If that's what you want, right?
And this is I came here to win.
Yeah.
I didn't come here to babysit you.
Nah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So I don't understand how a guy can be bench pressing, looking up at a spotter, and shooting the shit with him.
Then you're not working hard enough, I don't think. Yeah.
It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, back in the day, they would just drop the bar on you. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. Most people fake fine. Are you one of the few who will rise? Comment BKS below, and we'll arm you with the first tool to fight pain and build strength that's actually worth sharing. See you in the gym. Now back to the show. So let's keep breaking down that program. So we had you talk about the bench press. Now let's go to the power clean, right?
Power clean's the...
What's the why? Why are we doing power cleans, Coach?
Well, they're known as the athlete's lift.
The power builder, the explosive hips. The
you know, you got the triple extension, and what have you. I'm not so sure how much of it carries over to the field.
Okay.
Okay. Again, there's schools that don't power clean that win. Okay. Now, you know, again, they have great coaching, great talent, and what have you.
Sure.
But I've always liked it. It works everything from your ankles up to your ears.
Got it.
Okay. And you really don't have to handle a ton of weight in it.
Right.
You know, everybody thinks you got to do...
Get you winded quick. If you
300 pounds, and you don't.
Yeah.
Working that technique and getting that triple extension is stimulating everything.
Agreed.
Now, that being said, I had 12 kids do 225 plus in the testing last week.
Yeah.
And 225 for a power clean for a high school kid,
no joke.
to me, is
that's
awesome.
no joke.
Yeah. I remember...
We had a shitload.
I was going to say, Dustin, Andrew, Angelo, like all of those guys were just serious.
Some kids do over 225. I think Adam actually did 300 pounds.
He might have.
You know?
And I want to go back. Remember, we had those pictures in the I'll look at the programs with the like 500 pound squat club, the 300 pound bench or whatever. I don't know if we had a power clean club, but
we did.
Did we?
Maybe not.
Was it 225 or 350?
It was 225 and
was
plus.
it? Okay, I'll have to go look.
That's a huge power clean in high school.
Yeah, that's a big number.
And I was around those numbers. So, but there's other guys, Andrew, and like they were pushing 300 and that, and it. So absolutely, and how hard that was. Now we bring it back around, and we have the squat. So actually, before I get into the squat, power clean, the rep set and rep scheme similar. Like Monday is your heavy day.
It's
Wednesday
5 by
light.
5.
Yep. Same.
Wednesday's light. And then we do. So you don't have to boggle a kid's mind. The easiest way to do it from a heavy day to the light day is you take your third set of your heavy day.
And that's the top end.
That's your top set on a light day.
Got it.
It's like 80%.
Right.
But I don't have to tell them it's 80% and sit there and figure it out.
Just do your third set.
Just do your third set.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the power clean's done that way, and the squat, same thing.
So squat, what's in your terms, the why for squatting?
I'm 39 years old. I haven't done that since I was 17 and I weighed 250 pounds. And today I weighed 183 pounds. You can fucking do it. You're not old. It's not too late. Get to work. Fuck the god of death. Not today.
Especially barbell back squat, where there seems to be in the strength and training world, don't load a kid's spine, blah, blah, blah. Your thoughts?
Well, I agree if the kid doesn't know how to squat properly, or if the coach doesn't know how to
teach it,
train
right?
it. you know, I have kids that do high bar and low bar, and it seems to me the kids that do the low bar, their technique is pretty damn good.
And is that, when you say low bar, lower on the back?
Yeah.
Got it, versus higher up on the trap?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Now, I always did it high because I didn't know any better.
What are the differences for those? Is that shoulder
Well,
mobility?
when you're
or?
going down with a high bar squat,
Yeah.
you're trying to keep your body upright the whole time.
Right.
And it's pretty tough to do that. With the low bar, you're coming down and you're like
Sort
hinging.
of bend, hinge forward, right.
And if you do that, I haven't met anybody that's had any back issues, low bar squatting, to be honest.
It's almost
with
like
you.
a good morning squat, if you will. Like we come hinge a little bit as we.
And you're looking down. You're not looking up. You're not looking straight. You're looking down.
Right.
And it's kind of like starting strength. That's how
Mark Ripito?
That's how. Yeah. That's how he does it.
Okay.
And it makes sense. I don't read a lot of stuff that he prints, but I agree with that. And he's put out some good coaches. Sure. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Andy Baker.
Oh,
he's awesome.
Yeah, I've heard the name. Yeah.
I've spoken to him probably a dozen times, just asking opinions. But yeah, so the squat works the same way. I think it develops a ton of muscle. It stimulates your body to grow.
Got it.
And, you know, your hips, your ass, and your legs is what you need for football.
Agreed.
I try to, my philosophy now is body build the upper body, strength train the low body.
The low body. Interesting.
So that's what's going to win. Listen, back in the day with Patton, I'd walk around the field with him, and he would ask me, "What do you think?" I go, "Coach, look at them. Their asses are flat. We're going to kill them." You know, it makes a difference.
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah, when you get the posterior engaged.
And when you're banging for 4 quarters, and you know I've been beating this guy up all night long. By the 4th quarter, we had
who's got more
most
ass?
Guys just waved a white flag. Right. You know.
Yeah.
Who's got more ass?
So speak to that a little bit. How, like, knowing that, how strong. I believe a big reason we won 3 titles in a row was that we were crushing teams in the 4th quarter, and we were mentally stronger because we were so physically strong.
Right.
And we were able to just stay on the field.
I tell people all the time, they ask me that very question, and I tell them we did a very good job in the weight room preparing them physically. I had a head coach and assistant head coach that completely bought in to everything, and we didn't have injuries. I mean, you know, was it 99 team, I guess, we lost our top 4 running backs.
Yeah, we were down to Bobby Warden, fifth string.
Strongest kid on the team now.
He's trying to get up. And we got another guy hurt. Yo, what is Junior calling down? What is Junior liking up there?
Flip the mat. Flip the mat, son.
Flip the who?
Mat.
There's nobody to flip to yet. Their other running backs are dead.
I'm not saying it's a joke, but see, this is for all the wrong. You've never played hurt before.
Dude, I can't fucking walk on my, I can't jog on my fucking foot. I don't have any running backs. Get up here!
Someone's got to step up with all the injuries that are hurting Central Bucks West.
He doesn't know his plays, and he tells you he knows his plays.
You don't know your plays.
Oh, now it's most of them.
I don't get reps, so how am I supposed to?
Oh, now it's didn't I tell you in the beginning of the year some guys wouldn't get reps? But the guys that still can do that and play. You ready? Wing right, 57 quick pitch. Wing right, 57.
Big hole, Bob Warden's first carry. Here's Warden, has been great in this 4th quarter, bounces off, has the first down. The 2-time defending state champs, showing you why they are just an incredibly tough out. Oriole back, looks, throws, got a man wide open, it's caught. This is Bryan, got it all the way down to the 23-yard line. Pitch. This is Hallman. That's only his 4th carry, and he's inside the 10 and slams it all the way to the 6
Him and his brother were very strong.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, and
Yes.
he carried us to the state title.
That's right.
But it just goes to show you how great the coaching was. He was physically strong. He was coached, even though he was the fourth or fifth back.
Yeah.
He still got his reps in.
Reps, right.
So that's, if anybody wants to say I'm good, it's because of the people that I've surrounded myself with on the staffs.
Yeah.
There's no magic to Joe Hallman. It's just being persistent.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. There is magic to Joe Hallman because I would have run through a wall for you, not just anybody.
Well,
right? The cachet and the energy and the ability to get these kids to look us in the eye, and for you to be unwavering in what you were asking of us. We wanted what you were offering, or I did anyway, personally. So you said we got injured less. Do you attribute some of that less injuries in that 97, 98, 99 run to being stronger in the weight room?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's some of that too.
Absolutely.
So it's as much preventative as it is building too.
And I think the coaches were, you guys went balls to the wall on the field every practice. Okay. Today, they don't do that. And look at the injuries. I've never seen so many hamstring injuries, ACLs, shoulders. I've never seen it. It's unbelievable.
So it's like being strong physically, but then the conditioning of football,
right?
Putting those things together, more resilient athlete.
And knowing, look, I can't have his kid tackling, hard 3-4 times a week. Okay,
Right.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
Especially like when we were at Wood, we didn't have the numbers.
Yeah.
So you got kids going both ways, like I said, and you can't beat them up at practice because by the time he gets to game day,
he's playing both sides of the ball, and he's going to be beat. Yeah.
Now at West, the kids couldn't wait for game day because game day was usually easier for them than practice.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you guys. I hope you do now because you're older.
Yeah.
What you had in Pettin and Carey. Two amazing men. One of the best things that come out of it for me was Pettin and I became very close friends. Mike and I were always friends.
Right.
Sometimes you wouldn't know it. 'Cause
hey, that happens.
Mike has his opinion, I have my opinion, and then we just split it down the middle.
Right.
But that's the guy you want in a foxhole with you, man.
Why were they so special, Coach? What did you learn? What did you take away from them? Not what I did. I know what I did.
Probably being that I was so young, had to be a better man.
Wow. Okay.
How to treat my family.
Okay.
Because family was everything to Pettin.
Yeah.
When he retired, he and I would go out to breakfast every Saturday. We talked 5 minutes football and the rest family.
Wow. Okay.
And it was very important to him, just like it's important to me. And I probably screwed it up a little bit at the beginning because I put so much emphasis on being over at West. But, there are mistakes you make when you're young.
Yeah.
But he just, I just think he made me a better person.
Okay.
I really do.
Yeah.
I can't.
Wow.
You
don't have to say more than that.
As my dad did too. My dad was passed away, but he was my best friend.
Okay.
And the nice thing is, my dad and Mike Pettin got to meet each other at my daughter's wedding. And I was so happy that happened.
Yeah.
Because my dad always, I think at times he got tired of me talking about him. But, my dad set me up. He molded me.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But, yeah.
How did you meet Mike Carey? If you guys knew each other from like 71 or whatever, go to school or cross paths, or were you contemporaries on the field or something?
No, I can't remember exactly how we met.
Sure.
But I used to write up his programs, and we just remained
friends from that.
Friends, through his time at Pitt, and when he had his tryout with the NFL, and then became a successful businessman.
That's right. Yes, he has. Yeah.
How do you not respect that? You know?
Okay, so it's like a different level of kind of, he showed you another way, another level. Of,
Yeah.
Like,
and I think he's done that with quite a few people.
Wow.
That, you know, players hate coaches while they're being coached by them. Once the dust settles and you become men, you realize that.
What they gave us.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
you were at West 97, 98, 99. When you were there with Mike in 2000 when he was head coach.
I was there till 2004.
2004?
Yeah.
Who was that? Who was the coach right after? Randy, right.
Yeah.
And so you worked with Randy all the way through.
I did work with Randy.
So we got you through 2004 at West. Then what happened?
Went to Del Val for a year.
Okay.
And I left after 1 year.
Wasn't that one of the years they actually won the championship?
They did.
How about that?
They did.
How about that?
But
yeah.
I left because in college things are different. You can bring them in on like after game day on a Sunday and work them just to get the blood moving.
Right.
Well, I'd give up Sunday with my family.
Right.
Go over to the weight room and I get one kid.
Yeah.
And then, I'd say something to the head coach. Joe, they're college kids. They're drinking. And I go,
yeah.
They're athletes.
They're
here to work, right?
Yeah. But
it's the season.
So that didn't last too long.
Okay. Then we're out of Del Val. Then where we go?
CB South.
So who was the head coach? Was that Bart Zarco?
Zarco.
Mr. Hallman, what's going on? Craig Montgomery here. John Bair reached out to me and asked that I share a few words on the impact that you had on my life. So here goes. I started working out with you, I think in like 9th grade. I remember my dad dropping me off at the gym for the first time, and Casey Quadenfeld and I walked in there, and just seeing how freakishly strong Craig Quadenfeld and Nick Lucas were. And then being absolutely terrified because I was most likely going to be the scout team running back for them that upcoming season at CB West. But that summer, I think you helped me put on about 15 pounds. I learned how to work out. I got stronger. But it was more than just like the weight room and learning how to work out for me. It was really more of like the discipline and the mentality that you instilled. I always loved your saying that like only the strong survive.
Were you weren't there with my brother, were you? Was Tony there?
I might have been with Tony.
Because he graduated in 06. So it would have been the 05 year, maybe?
Yeah.
So you might have had
him. Was he there with Reynolds?
Yes. Because Reynolds was like a junior, I think. That
and
year.
Joey?
Szatmary?
Yeah.
He was later, though.
Okay.
My name's Joey Szatmary, and I was very fortunate to be coached by Joe Hallman throughout my athletic high school career. So I'm a CB South graduate from 2011. My main sports were football and lacrosse, and I was able to have Hallman as my strength and conditioning coach primarily throughout my entire high school career, which I would say was pretty successful as an athlete. I've currently kind of taken on his footsteps by being a strength and performance coach for the last 13 years and had a pretty successful career with that as well. And a lot of the principles and kind of what shaped me from a young pubescent teenager that could have went one way or another, these principles have really just shaped and influenced kind of my career, how I live my life. And I still can think back to the weight room days working with Hallman, and I just get filled with nostalgia. I get pretty pumped and hyped up. And a lot of the things that we did back then, almost all of them, pretty much still remain tried and true till this day and are something that I use not only with myself, but the clients that I work with. So obviously, if you worked with Coach Hallman, you got stronger. That was like a non-negotiable. If you showed up and you did what you were told, you were going to be an animal, right? That it was the plan was laid out for you. The culture was there by design, by just having all the things that would create better athletes. But outside of that, one of the biggest things for me that still remains tried and true was that hard work beats talent, right? We had a lot of talented guys, but at the end of the day, working hard, no matter where your talent level is going to get you improvement. So yes, if you have the talent and you're working hard, great things are gonna happen. But if you don't have that talent and you're working hard, you're still gonna get better. And for me, I was one of those guys that I didn't know where my talent or potential was, but by working hard and just showing up every single day with Hallman, that really kind of lit the fire in me to just get better in everything that I did. So not only in the gym, but outside. And still to this day, I'm always gonna be one of those hardworking, blue collar mindset type of people. And that's always the mindset that Hallman had, right? Like you get down, you get dirty. The training is going to be gritty, and good things happen to those that work hard.
Joey graduated in like 12. My brother graduated in 6.
I was there till then.
You were there till 12?
I was there with
You
Joey
might have
was
caught
there.
Tony, but you were Reynolds.
Yeah.
Who, wasn't there like a quarterback?
Jackson.
Yeah.
And
then
I forget who the quarterback was.
they
He
had a
went and
lineman
played.
too or something?
I think he played at Virginia.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some good teams.
They did, yeah.
They had some really good teams.
So you were with them for a while.
I was with them for a while.
Till 12. And then what happened?
Then I...
Were you at Wood?
No, we got to back up. I left there, I think, in 7 because I was at Wood in 2008.
Oh, okay.
And then we won the first state title there in 2000, I think, 10 or 11.
Yeah. I think it was 11.
Yeah.
Actually, didn't you guys win one in 08 too? Or did you go in 08 and then you won one like 2 years later?
Yeah.
Something like that, right?
They had one. I'm not going to say because I wasn't there, but I wasn't there yet.
No, understood, of course.
I mean, if I would have stayed
But
there.
there is a pattern forming.
There's a
you
clear
go somewhere
pattern.
and then like a year or so later, the level raises. There's a pattern.
You hope, again, you got to have the right coaching staff, and everything around you's got to be really perfect. I mean, there's some staffs I probably would have never gone to. Just because I know what the importance is and what isn't important. Most of the coaches that I've been with, if I said to them, listen, I need 10, 15 extra minutes today, it was fine.
Yeah.
Some guys would say, no, I'm on this schedule right here. That's it.
That's the only thing we're doing.
But I haven't had any of them.
Okay.
Nah.
So you're at Wood in the late 2008s, 9s, 10s. There for a little bit. Then we go to Hatboro Horsham, or?
Then I went to Hatboro Horsham.
All right. So
Mike.
Before we go talk about Mike there, how did you end up at Wood? Did Mike Carey call you there, or was did the head coach there at the time?
No, I was hired.
You were
first.
hired. Yeah.
And Coach Devlin asked me about Mike.
Got it.
He says, "What do you think of Mike Carey?" I'm like, "What do you want me to think?"
Right. Yeah.
He goes, "Well, he wants to put in for the job here, defensive coordinator." I'm like, "Well, as an alumni, if you don't at least interview him, you should be fired."
Okay.
So
there we go.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
Mike went there.
Yeah.
Mike taught coaches how to coach.
Mm-hmm.
He taught kids how to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's. If I would have stayed there, I'd have a ring on every finger.
Yeah, absolutely. So that was like 2010, 11, 12, and then Mike Kapusta calls.
Yes.
Yo, Mike Kapusta, we need to have a conversation, brother, man. So, how did that go down?
I came over. He knew who I was.
Yeah. Did he get a hold of you through Coach Pettin, or was that how did that happen?
Well, he talked. I think Coach had passed away
at that point. Because that was a 17 when he passed. But I remember talking, when I talked to Mike Kapusta, he told me that he had some conversations with Coach Mike Pettin, because Pettin found out that he was at Hatboro Horsham, and they were just swapping like coaching chops.
I think actually Brian Hensel talked to him.
Brian. Oh, man. Coach Hensel.
When he brought me in, we were talking back and forth. He's probably one of the few coaches that I could talk to and explain the program, and he understood it fully.
Yo, buddy. Joe, I just want to tell you how much I appreciate your friendship. We met years ago coaching at Hatboro Horsham, and I got so many great memories from back then, talking to you almost every morning on the phone about the players and the team and strategy and what my plans are and what your plans are and how we can dovetail them together. And we experienced a lot of success, and I had a lot of fun. But way more important than that is the fact that we've remained friends over the years.
Just because you lift weights doesn't mean you understand the mechanics and how to program.
And Mike could.
Mike could.
Right. Interesting.
So he turned it over to me, and we I think we had 2-3 good years together.
Yeah.
We would pound teams. and we get pounded occasionally because we didn't have the numbers.
The numbers, right.
We had some real strong kids.
Yeah.
I mean, real strong. One's a Navy SEAL now. I think there's a couple that are cops. They loved to be in the gym.
Yeah.
You know.
Yo, Coach. It's been a little minute, but I genuinely wish the best for you, Coach. I pray that all is well. I pray that you are in good spirits, Coach. And I'm making this video today to say thank you, Coach. Thank you for just being a genuine individual that you are. Thank you for making a positive impact and a positive influence, being a positive influence in my life, Coach. And I can guarantee, Coach, and I know that you've made a positive impact in some way, shape, or form in the livelihoods of a ton of different individuals. Because again, you're a genuine individual. You're an awesome person. You're just somebody who's easy to talk to, somebody that's open and willing to talk, open and willing to just spread wisdom and just share the experience that you have, Coach, and just always somebody that's looking to just better their lives and looking for the best of others, Coach. And I just want to say thank you for that. Also, Coach, I just want to say thank you for the memories, Coach. You know, the Hallman shake is something that we'll make jokes about and laugh about for years to come, Coach. For years to come, and just thank you for that, Coach. And also thank you for just the random laughs that you have, Coach, during practice, during weightlifting sessions. Thank you for just being the genuine and awesome individual that you are.
We were talking off camera a little bit, but I'd like you to say it on camera about sort of Mike Kapusta's, like, his mindset around football, and how was he, like, he was an art teacher that coached football.
Yeah.
And you said that just, how did that work for you?
Yeah.
His mind was awesome.
His mind, he's brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. I guess, you know, in the art world, he fell in love with it.
He has creativity. Yeah.
And, you know, he's great with the kids.
Right.
I mean, kids would stick their heads in the weight room and yell goodnight to them and what have you.
Yeah.
But as far as his brain going with football and lifting,
right.
He's like Pettin Jr.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow. Wow, Mike.
He's brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, he goes to games still, and he'll call me and say, you know, what the hell are they doing? Or, you know, all this other, you know.
Yeah.
He's very basic like I am. We're just, let's get the job done, get him in and out, 45 minutes. If you're lifting any more than 45 minutes, you're wasting time.
You're talking too much.
Okay.
Right. Yeah.
You really are. I had this discussion with my team the other day because I'm going to do something different now, so that it'll prevent that. I go, you guys have time to dance. You have time to talk. But you don't have time to finish your workout.
Right.
What's that say to me? That spells disrespectful.
Bingo. Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
we'll see what happens with what we're going to start up.
Yeah. So we had you at Hatboro Horsham for a few years, and then how'd we end up back at Wood? Is that Dave Armstrong?
No, Kyle Atkins. Kyle was a young man that I trained at Wood.
Got it. And
we would have conversations. Again, very brilliant. I went to Ursinus and played. Started three years. When he got done, he came back to Wood. Was an assistant with Devlin for a year. Devlin went to Ursinus. Kyle got the job. Called me, asked me if I'd be willing to come back. And there were some stipulations on my part. Nothing to do with Kyle. I mean, I got off the phone with him when I pulled in here.
Oh, all right.
I'd rather not. There were some issues that
no worries.
I don't agree with.
Okay.
With the Catholic League, let's just say that.
Fair enough.
And you know, I came back and we worked hard. The kids worked hard, and 2019 we won a state title.
Yeah.
Beat LaSalle that year. Beat Cheltenham for the state title. Yeah, it was.
Dave's kid was a senior on that team, wasn't he? Dave Jr.? Yeah. And Dave was a D coordinator, right?
Dave was a D coordinator for that team. No, Kyle was. But, yeah, Dave took care of the D linemen.
Got it.
The ends.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a good coaching staff on that too. But Dave, I got to be honest, Dave and Kyle probably they ran that roost.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had it going.
Yeah, the kids respected them.
Mm-hmm.
They trusted them.
Yeah.
There was no screwing around. The kids, they didn't think they would win a state title.
At the beginning of the year.
They as soon as they saw LaSalle they're like, oh my God, LaSalle.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, LaSalle, so what?
Yeah, right.
You know, they're 15, 16-year-old kids just like you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
Just you go out there and you play.
Be like if kids
You know?
saw us on the schedule, like the North Penn kids saw West on the schedule, then they had to step up. Yeah, all right. So how long were you at Wood sort of for that, like 19, just 19, 20?
No,
like COVID shut everything down?
I stayed, there were no more schools left to coach other than Tenet.
Yeah.
I stayed when Kyle retired.
Mm-hmm.
I stayed with Matt. And then when he retired, I stayed with Dave.
Got it.
And then when Dave resigned, I resigned.
Got it.
And I thought that's where my career would end.
Yeah. And that brought us here. But then you said earlier in this podcast, you said, I didn't want it to end there.
I didn't want it to end there. I ended it for the right reasons.
At Wood. Got it. But you still had more to give.
I thought I still could help a team.
So now we're back at
where it all started.
Yeah,
well, basically
almost where it all in Doylestown. How's that? And
Yeah.
how did that come about? Coach Rowan called you, or
I actually called him and told him. Well, he knew that I had resigned. I said, "Listen, if you're still looking for somebody,
planted a seed." Yeah.
I'm going to be available.
Got it.
That's all I said.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he had a guy there, young kid that played ball at East and played at Ursinus. Real smart kid, Sean Hall. Really good with the conditioning and what have you, speed training and the strength training. But my stuff's just a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, he's eager to learn. I'm not eager to learn his stuff. I'm too old for that. It's too scientific for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. But he does a great job with it. He trains a ton of athletes too down at Warminster.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a great relationship. He's been very generous letting me run my program with the big weights. And, it says a lot for his pride, because I don't know if I could have done that. But again, he said, I know who you are. I trained a lot of his friends back in the day at my gym.
Okay.
So, it was let's see what happens here.
Oh.
Since January, things have been great. I'm in a position that if I'm not happy, I can go. I'm retired.
Okay.
I'm home with my wife. My wife is fighting cancer right now.
I'm sorry.
So if I don't go, I don't care.
Got it.
At this point.
Yeah.
So it was really an emotional day for me because my wife, as you know, passed away on July 4th. When I made the podcast with you, she was alive, and we talked about it all the way down. I was on the phone with her, telling her how excited I was. I hope I didn't make an ass out of myself, that you're going out of your way to do this, and I want to do good by you. And on the way home, I told her I thought it went well. I loved doing it. John gave me so much respect and love, it was unbelievable. And when I came home, we talked about it, and we hugged, and she told me she loved me and was proud of me.
Yeah. We've come to this really cool place. Before we finish, in a few sentences, a few words, a few Joe-isms, Coach Hallman-isms, what are the principles or the attributes that you believe, especially we'll say high school students or starting strength kids or kids that are just getting into weightlifting, but for the reason of excelling at athletics, really? What are the qualities that you think that they need to work on. You've said several times some things are really too scientific, but you like it simplistic.
Right.
That's how we do things here too.
Right.
Very simple.
I would say for the young kids, there's very few young kids that can squat their body weight without a bar.
Got it.
That can do a good push-up. That can do a good chin-up. And that can jump over logs. This is all the stuff I did when I was a kid.
Got
it. They're just not prepared.
Okay.
They all want to get a bar, put a bar on their back, and squat, and they don't realize how dangerous things are.
Yeah.
So, you want to take your time, be slow, learn, listen, be respectful. Most of the young kids that come in today, ninth graders, they don't see a bar for a while. They do goblet squats.
Okay.
I love that movement. I love it.
Yeah. Dan John.
Dan John.
That's
right.
Man right there.
Hey, Coach Joe, Dan John here. Just thanks for the shout out. Good luck to you. I know some things have been rough in your life lately, but we're all here for you. Keep on doing the good work. Thank you.
Don't be in a hurry.
Okay.
When you come in,
Yeah.
when you come into my weight room now, as a ninth grader, I have you to your senior. You got a long way to go to grow. Okay.
Yep.
So you want to take it easy. You want to take it slow. I think everybody's in too much of a hurry today to want to get, like I'll tell the kids when bench press 300 pounds. Okay, what are you looking to do next? 400. I go, no, you're looking to do 305.
Right.
Okay, that could take you 6 months to a year. It's slow and steady.
Okay.
Okay, but the respect thing is a big thing. Don't think that you're a know-it-all.
Are there a lot of know-it-alls these days?
Young kids, there's quite a few of them that think, they read Men's Health magazine, so now they're an authority.
Expert, right?
Yeah. It's a couple of Instagram posts that make them a full-on expert.
They Google something up.
Yeah.
ChatGPT told me this is my program.
Yeah. But just take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. Learn to use and control your own body. Okay, there's not a lot of kids that can do that.
Correct.
There really isn't.
There's not a lot of adults that can do that.
You're right. If I give you a quick story,
please.
Zach Freiling from North Penn.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was a two-time state champion and a national champion at West Virginia. His dad, I did a clinic over at High Point way back. And his dad came up to me and was telling me about, this kid, how great he was, blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't have room right now. I'll tell you what, bring him up. If he can do 100 push-ups without stopping, I'll take him. Did 115.
All right, I guess I'm taking you then.
You start tomorrow.
We'll make some room.
I'll tell you what, I've never seen a kid built the way this kid was built.
Zach, I only get stories. One of my best friends, Rob Akers, owns a gym out in Westchester. He went to Downingtown, but he had to wrestle against Zach. They were the same years.
Yeah.
So when he found out that I went to CB East and was in the same district as Zach, that's all he could talk about because Zach was the one that was beating everybody at the state level and et cetera. And that kid, he just, was he undefeated? Or he might have lost like one match or two matches maybe, if that. In his high school career.
In his high school career,
High school, right.
I think he won 130 matches.
It was disgusting, yeah. So he was...
but he lived to train.
Right.
I never seen anybody. even the stuff you hear about Arnold.
Right.
You know, Zach was obsessed with it to the point that he made me nervous.
Fair enough. You had to like tell him to slow down a little bit.
You had to, yeah.
Yeah.
And his dad was an awesome guy. His dad was an ex-Marine who was really jacked.
Sure.
And,
yeah.
you know, everything with Zach was yes, sir, no, sir. You know, you don't see that today, you know. And it's, you know, you got to put some of the blame on the parents, you know.
Well, I mean, respect, it's a downhill thing, right? Like if the parents don't show it.
Right.
How can the kids do it, model it? Yeah.
But you got to enforce it too, because you can't say, you know, my little Johnny would never do that.
Right.
Well, guess what? Your little Johnny does more than you know.
Mm-hmm.
Damn straight.
Okay.
Yeah,
But I have to say, in all the years I've been doing this, maybe 1, 2 at the most that I would not want at my dinner table.
Kids or people?
Kids.
That you worked with. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Seriously,
So out of 2,000, maybe 1 or 2 that you wouldn't want to see
just
again.
1 or 2.
Okay.
And I can name them.
Yep.
Like I trained them yesterday. You know. Yeah. Anytime I get a chance to see guys like you and Adam.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So much fun. Yeah.
It really brings back good memories. Hopefully, it brings back good memories to them too. You know.
Well, you're sitting here because, quite honestly, or at least you took the time to reach out to me and say, hey, good job with that interview. Like, guess how many people didn't do that, Coach?
Yeah.
You, persistence, like picking up the phone, calling Bill Starr 50 times before he took your call. Like you said, you're retired. Your wife has cancer. You have way more things to worry about. And you took the time to say, hey, thanks for putting that out.
I loved it.
I mean, my gosh. I want people to understand what we did in that world, to understand that today's world, it is a little different. And I'd love to find a way to bring forward some of what we learned from the past in a way that is modern, that the new way of thinking can absorb. Because there's a lack of effort and a lack of accountability that I believe most people have. It's like personal responsibility. Because on the flip side, you work with athletes that are 15, 16, 17. We work with athletes that are 50, 60, 70.
Right.
And guess what? We hear similar. Oh, well, I felt like going out and drinking wine last night. I had to do all this work. Yeah, but I still want to lose 30 pounds in the next 30 days. So like, can't we get all that done? And it's like, what fucking world do you live in that you think that like all of these things, if you don't prioritize it, you should just have it?
Right.
Right? So I can't eat your broccoli for you, and I can't lift your weights for you, and I can tell you what to do, but like, fucking, we have to get some effort, and you have to take responsibility for where you are in life.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah? Okay. So
the majority of the world is, I guess lazy is not the right word, but I'm going to use it, that if they could take a pill and everything
goes away,
they don't have to lift a weight or anything, they would do it.
I believe you. And I don't believe that's the way.
No, I don't. I agree.
Coach, we're going to wrap this thing up here. Do you have any final thoughts, questions? I would love for you to.
A couple of things, yeah.
All right. Jeremy's going to ask you a few things, and then I'm going to finish up.
All right.
So I'm interested in a couple of things. First thing, you said there was, roughly like 2,000 kids or so. Like, when you started doing your thing, how did it get to be, like, what was there something in you or some reason that you wanted to do it more with kids than adults, or were the kids just more accessible at that time?
Probably because they were more accessible, but my thought process was, I'm only training. I wouldn't train a fat kid coming into my gym.
Right.
Okay.
Athletes.
And I don't like to use that, but
it's okay.
I only took athletes, and my thought process was, they know what it's going to take to get to that next level.
Gotcha.
So that's. Now, I wasn't always right, but that was my thought process.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, just I'm sitting here listening to essentially somebody, and I've been the beneficiary of someone who you mentored a long time ago, and I've sat with several other people who have been through that process too, and they all look back on it as a very positive experience. Like, you know, John and I have been working together for several years now, and we've been through, you know, ups, downs, and sideways and all that kind of stuff here. But at the end of the day, you know, we've done things that were, you know, really incredibly taxing emotionally, mentally, things that were like, whoa, I can't believe that just happened. And, you know, maybe I walk into the bathroom for a minute and I'm like, you know, wash my hands in my face or something. I'll walk out and he's just out here lifting. Like, they're not like, hey, I'm going to lift or anything. It's like, there's no talk about it. There's no anything. It's just like, this is what's happening right now. This is what I'm doing. So that discipline, that level of, and, you know, we've talked about it on other shows too, where, you know, hey, what are you doing? It's Wednesday. We're lifting. Like, you'll be here, right? And it's like, yeah, I'm on my way. Like that kind of a thing. Yeah. So, you know, someone who's essentially mentored, you know, thousands of kids and child athletes to be better at their sport is pretty impressive. So,
thank you.
That, and then my other question would be, like, through all this stuff, and you alluded to it for a moment, like, what were you doing with the rest of your time? Like, you had a whole other job that was happening too?
I worked for full-time for the school district, Central Bucks.
Okay.
I worked in the warehouse, so I was constantly lifting heavy shit all day long.
Right.
And that's all I could think about was, got the weight room tonight with the kids.
Right.
Whether it was in the gym or whether it was, you know, at one of the schools that I was at, that really gave me something to look forward to.
That's awesome.
And then going home, of course. I mean,
family, you know, and all that stuff.
I cheated my kids out of a lot of my time,
right.
And I realized that. They turned out to be good men and women,
right.
In spite of that. Thank God for their mother, you know. But like I would miss their middle school football games because I was over. They played Fridays. I had to be at West Friday, you know. Right. So it's, you know, I would do it again because I just love it so much.
Sure, but there were trade-offs.
There's trade-offs.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome.
But
that's it. That's all. Yeah. Just
Thank you.
Just curious on those things. Yeah. Thank you.
Coach, got one final question for you. Then you just hit on it, and I think it's really cool. In order for you to be so entrenched in the strength world, you had to give up, or your kids had to give up a lot of time with you.
Yes.
Do you have a message for them if they're watching now? Because this is going to live for posterity now.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to them?
Yeah.
Hey everybody, Ben Carber here. Just wanted to take a minute to talk about Joe Hallman, what he means to me. Everybody knows Joe from his strength training back in West during their run of championships there. Joe's gone on to win other titles with other schools, and now he's back at CB West doing what he does best. But outside of that, Joe is a phenomenal person. He's like a father to me. He took me in high school. I lived with the Hallmans for 3 years. I was able to excel at my sport and get a scholarship with their help, and I owe a lot to Joe. He's, like I said, he's a father to me. He's a grandfather to my children. He's taught me a lot of what I am today. I've learned from Joe, and quite frankly, he's instilled the values and really how to be a great dad in me. So I feel like I carry that on with my children, and he's a great grandfather to my kids.
Have you told them all this?
Oh yeah, I told them I know that I.
How about your grandkids? Is there a message you'd like to leave them?
Well, I just started. I'm going to be training my 2 granddaughters in soccer.
Perfect.
To get ready for soccer. So.
How many grandkids do we have?
6.
Okay.
Love it.
And 2 of them are tremendous softball and baseball players, and one's a phenomenal soccer player, and the other one's getting there. But we start training next Monday. So
starting with from the big 3 out.
Nah, they're gonna do body weight stuff. They're gonna run hills.
Got it.
And then we'll progress to stuff if I think they're ready for it. But the nice thing too, John, with the West thing was, Michael played for West, so we were on the sidelines together. Emily was a manager, so we were on the sidelines together. And whenever, Patrick was always at every game.
Right.
So I don't think they ever questioned how much I loved them.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Emily, Patrick, Mike, I want you guys to know how much your dad means to me. Like, we're literally sitting in a gym that is yellow and black. And a big reason is because of your dad. So thank you for allowing him to be a part of all of our lives. Because I'm not sure that I'd still be here without him. Coach, thank you so much.
Thank you.
My man.
It's a pleasure.
Pleasure.
All done, sir.
Good stuff.
I didn't embarrass myself, did I?
I don't think so. I don't think you could.
Hey, Coach, I hope you enjoyed that. I just want you to know that what you did for me, the time that you spent with me, meant everything.
And listening to the kids talk to you yesterday, I should say the men, that meant so much to me. The love I have for all of them is unbelievable. And I tell all the kids, I will always be there for you, no matter what. I'm a phone call away. Don't make a mistake. Don't do anything rash. Call me. I'll always be there. Once you're with me for life, unless you tell me to get lost. But you doing that was so special to me. I can't put it in words.
These guys that you've worked with over the years, the studs that you've made, I'm not one of them. Dave Armstrong, University of Michigan, National Gatorade Player of the Year.
I've been lucky enough to, privileged enough to be not only a person that was trained and coached by Joe, but also have 2 of my 3 sons so far trained and coached by him. Joe is a consummate leader. His support, emotional support, of course, the weight training support has been very valuable. I can't put it into words. Joe, what you've done for me as a young man, as a teenager, and what you continue to do as an old man, I can't thank you enough. You know that. You're a treasure, Joe. I love you, brother. I value our relationship, your friendship, your mentorship to this day more than you can probably, maybe you can't even fathom it. Thanks for everything you've done for me and for my family. I love you, Joe.
Mike Moosbrugger, 6'7", 300 pound, offensive lineman, professional football player.
As I enter year 22 of coaching young athletes myself, I find that I still am instilling those same values that you put into me 30 years ago because they're the most relevant. They're something that, we're missing in today's day and age. And I can't thank you enough for pushing me at a young age, for guiding me, always being there for me and showing me what it took to become a man and a great coach. The things you shared with me, those are something that I pass on to my new batch of players every 4 years. It's the foundation of everything that I've done, both in my life, personally and professionally. I can't thank you enough for it. Love you. I wouldn't be here without you. I hope you're having your best day, man. I'm always here for you.
Bryan Buckley, University of Massachusetts, Marine Raider, World Saver.
But you're always there to lend an ear and always provide that sage advice that I took with me to things I did later in life, including going into the Marine Corps and going to war and facing some difficult circumstances. But always love you, always appreciate everything. And again, I'm just really happy to be a part of this. You're the best, my man.
Adam Scholl, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, executive security worldwide.
Starting with just a broomstick and then the bar and then working your way up to putting up some pretty serious numbers and being one of the, middle of the road to stronger end guys on the program. And, that really meant a lot to me. Joe's a great guy. I still get to see him pretty regularly, and it puts a smile on my face every time I get to see him. I love you, Joe.
Mike Kapusta, Ivy League graduate, artist at heart.
You've been an inspiration to me. The way that you're dedicated to your family, the way you show up for your grandkids and your kids, and most importantly, how you've been dedicated and loved your wife, Sue. That's something that I really hope to have in my own life for the rest of my life.
Ben Carber, University of Virginia, Division I stud.
We love Joe, and can't say enough good things about Joe. So we all love you, and you're the best.
And how about Joey Szatmary, the young lion, national champion strongman?
Coach Hallman, even though he was somebody who's going to bust your balls and talk some crap in the weight room, you knew at the end of the day, no matter what, that he loved you and he would do anything for you. And he truly just wanted you to succeed. And I could always feel that when I'd have conversations with him, and also just be there for me as a mentor and a friend throughout those crazy times as a teenager. Another great principle that was instilled to me by Hallman was that the basics are tried and true, and that's what works. If you can master the basics and stay consistent with them, you're going to be on the path to success. Especially nowadays, it's very easy to get caught up in the glitz and the glam and what's the latest trend or what the science is saying. And it's not to discredit those things, but at the end of the day, you have to stick with what you know and what's true. And that's how all our programs were designed, right? We had pushing, pulling, pressing. We had strongman carries. We did our plyometrics and we hit our sprints. But outside of those training modalities, it wasn't very complicated. It was very matter of fact. You show up, you execute this, you're going to get stronger, you're going to be more athletic, you're going to be resilient, not only in the gym, but in life as well. And that's something that I still preach to this day with myself and the clients that I work with. Another big principle, and it's kind of a short story, that Hallman really instilled in me was stand up for what's right and your brothers. Obviously being in a team culture, those guys become your brothers. And there was an instance in school where I ended up getting into a fight, defending somebody who was not only my friend, but a teammate. And it was kind of a big situation. Everybody kind of knew about it. And I had lifting that day, and I walked into the weight room and I was actually afraid of what everybody was gonna think or do, and especially Hallman, because I viewed him, like I said, like a mentor. He's a coach, he's somebody I respected. And as I walked in, the seas kind of parted and Hallman was standing right in front of me, and I was kind of like, oh crap, I'm gonna get roasted for this. And he literally made me walk up to him, give him a hug. Everybody started clapping, and he said, that's what you do. You stand up for your brothers no matter what. And I remember, and I still have chills to this day, of like just how that felt and what that meant to a young teenage, or boy turning into a man, and how that was going to influence the rest of my life by, having principles like honor and making sure that you're taking care to the man to your left and to your right, and just being a family man till today, right? Like, so those small little things, I'll never forget, but that's one of the greatest memories I have with Hallman. I'm very grateful and thankful for you, and I love you, man.
Not to mention the countless individuals who would do anything for Joe Hallman.
Definitely appreciate, all the things that you did for me, off the field, give me rides home from school. You didn't have to do that. You live the opposite way, and, you have your own family to worry about, but, you gave me a ride home a few times, and I really appreciate that. I'll never forget that. Another big thing that you did that stands out to me was you learned that I have flat feet, and you pulled some strings that got me some insoles for my cleats, so I'm not hobbling out there on the field. I'll never forget that, because I know those things weren't cheap, and you made it happen, and it definitely did wonders for me on the field. So, yeah, like I said, good people. Never forget you, Joe. It's good seeing you on these YouTube clips on Facebook and hearing your stories. Definitely learning more than I knew previously. Wasn't that much, yapping in the gym when you were training us. It was just, it was an intense environment, which I loved. And yeah, it's just an honor to, be here today and reminisce a little bit and just think about how much of an influence you were in my life. Take care, Joe. I hope all is well.
As I get older and I realize the people that I've learned from, and now that I'm coaching myself, Joe was just one of the most genuine humans that I've ever met. He was always extremely encouraging. Even when I decided to be an actor, a lot of people in the community teased, and Joe went the opposite direction. When I lost all the weight to, fit the role of a male lead, Joe right away said, "You look like an actor, man. You're doing really well." And
I traveled all this way, though, man. I'm here. Look at me. I'm standing right here.
Your mission was to protect your son from harm, and you did just that.
You're right, I did, and I don't want that to end. I want to be here. I want to be his father. I want to stay right here. Can't that change? Look, man, I spent my whole life trying to get a purpose and try and be a dad. I finally get it, and you're trying to take it away from me, man.
You're right, Ethan. You learned what your purpose is.
For lack of better terms, he didn't tease, and I appreciated that so much. He's just a very genuine, loving man, and there's a lot of aspects to his person as a leader that I've taken with me as a leader myself. And just thank you so much, Joe. I appreciate all that you've done for the students in the community, and now that I'm a young dad myself, I look forward to maybe bringing my kid around and getting some pointers. All right, love you, guy. Bye.
After Penn State in 2001, I ended up losing 100 pounds from being an offensive lineman to go be a Navy SEAL. And never were those lessons more tested than going through buds, especially as a big guy. It's not an easy feat. Got pneumonia twice, got rolled twice, basically did all the buds twice without ever quitting, because it's just that painful and that hard. I've had a lot of great leaders and a lot of great Master Chiefs. One of them does a great little story when he's bringing people out to buds, where he dips down into the ocean and grabs a big old handful of sand and water. And as he's talking, he's talking about buds, and he's talking about the trials and all the hardships you face and all the things you go through. And he's moving his hand around, and what you realize is in his hand, that water has slowly washed away the sand to reveal the golden trident that he's holding in his hand. And he talks about, with a little agitation, a little adversity, a little challenge, you can reveal the gold beneath. And that is certainly what you did for us. I don't know how to thank you. I'm glad we've had this opportunity to reach out to you. But know that, as I always told my young SEALs, the greatest impact I can have on my SEALs as a Master Chief is to have an impact on the youngest SEAL and watch him carry that legacy forth throughout his 20 or 30 years of service. That's what you did for us, and I hope that if you don't know my story, I can tell you more about it, but that was you. What you did for me carried me through my entire career. And as they say, beware of old men in dangerous professions. I survived all 20 years of it, and that's in large part to you and everybody else who brought me up from the start. Those foundations and what we do as a foundation is what makes the future, and that is what you have done and continue to excel at. For that, I thank you. Reach out to me. I'll send my personal information along with this. Thank you.
There's no instant gratification in the weight room. If you hit a new personal record or a new max, that's been months in the making. It didn't just appear that day. So the main lesson that I took away working with Joe was just how to grind it out, how to work, how to come in every day and put your head down and just give everything you've got. And personally, that served me well both in my high school and my college playing career. It served me really well in the business world. I mean, as I've tried to build a business in my current job, that appreciation for the grind and being willing to just outwork and outlast, your opponents, for lack of a better term, really has left an impact. So Joe, thank you that everything you've done for all of us. I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and thank you for teaching me the appreciation of grinding.
As I became an adult and grew up, I moved to Southern California, started building companies. That mentality is something I'd carried with me throughout my life. And I think it's important because, whether you're playing sports or you're building a company, life's not easy. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate all the time and energy that you dedicated to me and my friends. I'm sure that I speak for everyone when I say that you had a huge impact on my life, and I know a lot of other people throughout the years. So just wanted to say thank you for that. I hope you're doing well. I hope the family's doing well. And if you want, I love the old school cutoffs. If you want to make some t-shirts again, some Only the Strong Survive, I'm a size large. Ship one out to Huntington Beach. I'll rock that shit every day. So, all right, thank you so much, and take care.
Thank you for help instilling a level of discipline within me, Coach. You are just completely transformational, Coach. When you came to be our weightlifting coach and just take over that program, you just completely transformed it, Coach. The different things, the different techniques that you taught us, Coach, are still things that I do today. You know, I wake up with a little bit of back pain. I try to go grab me a bar, no weight on it, do some good mornings, make sure I get my lower back right. And it's a lot of things, Coach, that you've taught us and discipline that you've helped instill in us, Coach, that's going to last. It's going to last for a lifetime. And also, Coach, just thank you for always believing in me, Coach. When you joined the program, Coach, and you came over, you saw something in me that I more than likely didn't see at the time myself. And thank you for just always believing in me, always supporting me, Coach, and just always rooting for me, Coach. You always have my back, Coach, and that means more than you know, Coach. So just overall, thank you for being the individual and the person that you are. And hopefully, Coach, I can talk to you soon. All right, so just thank you for everything again, and wish you the best, Coach. Talk to you soon. All right.
Ass kickers, all of them. And then there's me. Definitely don't look as imposing. Definitely on paper, not as accomplished. None of the accolades that any of these guys have, and were well deserved. Coach, I need you to understand that what you gave me didn't necessarily show up on the field. Even though I played, even though I started, even though I lettered, I wasn't all league, I wasn't all state, I wasn't all anything. And then I lost my brother to suicide, and my cousin to muscular dystrophy. And I was ruined. And the one thing that I had that I fell back on, you gave me. The only time in my life that I actually felt strong was when I worked with you at CB West. In the darkest moments of my life, the only thing that I had to draw on was our time together. I kept going back to how I felt working with those guys, being around them towards a greater good. And Coach, that has led to me being able to sit here, and my strength shows up by speaking up. I talk about losing my brother. I talk about losing my cousin. I talk about the hard things that my family went through growing up. I know your family had a lot of nights where you weren't at home because you were out with us. And I need Emily, Michael, Patrick, you guys, the children of coaches, to understand how important coaching is. I needed you, Coach Hallman. Most likely more than you ever needed me. So to those of you who need someone to see you, to hear you, to understand you, to fight for you in your corner, I need you to find somebody like Joe Hallman. who will be there through thick and thin and never let you down. Coach, we love you. Thank you so much for everything you've ever done for all of us. And guess what, Coach? I still clean. I still press. And I still squat.
Thank you, John. Hi, Joe. I'm MJ. I wanted to thank you for your lifelong dedication to young athletes. You know, when John entered football, he was interested, but he was also very undisciplined. It's through your coaching he began to develop skill both on and off the field. He became physically stronger. And at the same time, Joe, he was developing a quiet strength of character. We all know it takes a village. Thank you, Joe, for making kids a priority.
Here's one final message from those you love most.
Hey, Dad, just wanted to pop in here, say how thankful we all are for you and everything you've done for all of us, and the thousands of kids that have fulfilled dreams with you helping them. And now, every day you're talking to my daughters, helping them get better every day at soccer, training them in the driveway. I couldn't ask for a better grandfather than what you've been to them. And just wanted to say we love you.
Coach, this is John. Michaud wrote you a note titled, "A Proud Son." Dad, I wrote this and planned on doing a voice note for you, but I got sick and I can't talk. Most kids idolize their dad, and I was no different. I mimicked him in so many ways, picked up his traits, and always wanted to be just like him. To me, he wasn't just a dad. He was also a coach, a leader of men, a mentor to so many. Everywhere he went, he left his mark. Because of him, I played football, built lifelong friendships on the field, and eventually I followed in his footsteps into coaching. Lucky enough to coach with him and, at times, against him. His impact on the game speaks for itself. He won several state championships at multiple schools with different coaching staffs. But through all the changes, one thing never wavered: his weight room program and his leadership. That weight room became his classroom, his pulpit. He demanded toughness, discipline, and accountability. The results showed, teams got stronger, players grew into men, and championships followed. Off the field, what stood out the most was his work ethic. My dad was a man who always had 2 jobs, always working. But somehow, he never missed an event I had. He taught me that you show up every day, work hard, and it will pay off. Anyone who knows him knows how hard he worked, and that lesson shaped me into the man I am today. And beyond football, beyond work, he showed me the true meaning of love and family. When my mom got sick, he put everything else aside to care for her with an unwavering devotion. His example taught me what it means to be a family-first father. Even now, I still aspire to be like him. The caring man who put his family above all else. The leader who poured himself into others. The tireless worker who never quit. And the loving husband who stood strong through it all. He has done so much for so many, and I am lucky enough to call him my dad. Only the strong shall survive.
Hey, Dad. When John asked me to talk about you and to say a little something, I had to think really long and hard how to put this all into under a minute. But I guess what I really want to say is thank you. Thank you for teaching me what it is like to be humble, to be kind, and to be loyal. You have shown me over the years what hard work and dedication can get you, and that your reputation is your calling card in life, and your reputation will always outshine most. You have given so much to the community and to young men and women ever since I can remember. And I can't thank you enough for doing that, not only for them, but really what I learned later in life is what you did for us. You put the time in, you gave up time at home, you gave up time with us so that you could not only shape young athletes, but you did it for our family. And I will forever be grateful of all your sacrifices. I love you so much. My kids love their Poppy.
And listening to my own children talk, I really felt like I left them down at times. And I know how much they care about me and love me and how proud they are of me. And I appreciate it, John, very much. And maybe we can do it again sometime.
Hi, Poppy. It's your granddaughter, Ella. I just want to say thank you so much for doing that podcast episode. It means so much to me to be able to have watched that and learned so much about one of my favorite people. I knew a lot of things about you and how many people you've helped, but just to be able to see it and hear it and sit down and listen to everything is something that I think is so cool. Just to have forever, just this time capsule of your life. It is just the coolest thing to me, and it was so amazing. And being able to read the comments and see the videos of the people that you have impacted was just so, so, so precious. I just wanted to say a couple of things. You have made a great impact on so many people, and that is something that was always been so apparent to me. But I think it's important to talk about the great impact that you've had on our family's lives. Growing up my entire life, you've always said to be Hallman strong, and although I don't have the Hallman last name, it runs deep with me. Everything I do is Hallman strong. To me, that means family is like a team. Our family is strong. We win together, we lose together, we celebrate, we mourn together, and that is something that I will carry with me when I start a family of my own, and I will never ever forget that. That became so apparent to me when we lost Mimi this summer. It was one of the worst things that I have ever been through, and you were by her side until the very end, and were there for all of us as we were there for you. And the amount of people that came out and supported us and supported our family is something I will never forget. Thank you so much for all you do for us, Poppy. I love you so much. Hallman strong. Mwah.
Are you having a hard time fitting in? Same here. I am not okay. For the longest time, I was faking fine. I had to learn how to speak the unspoken and find my truth. If you are ready to find your truth, please comment below FINE, F-I-N-E, in all caps, and I'll send you the first step. Welcome to our community, where it's okay to not be okay. See you on the inside.